In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Zarathi prided themselves on one thing above all: their mastery of warp technology. They could cross light years in hours, exploring distant star systems, while countless other species struggled for decades to understand even the most basic principles of faster-than-light travel. The Zarathi Council gathered in their high spire on the planet ZarathisPrime, a shining city of chrome and glass suspended above a swirling purple ocean. The council chambers hummed with quiet power, lit by glowing panels that displayed distant stars. Today's meeting, however, was different. A problem had arisen that demanded the highest attention: humans. Reports confirm that they have reached the edge of the Viridian expanse, said Counselor Vader, a tall, slender figure with silver-tinted scales. His voice carried authority, each word precise, deliberate. They are primitive, yet strangely persistent. Counselor Resic, his mate in the ruling circle, tilted his head. Persistent is one word. Curious is another. Do we truly understand their capacity? No, Vader admitted, which is why we must act. He tapped a holographic map, zooming in on a sector filled with small rocky asteroids. Red triangles blinked on the display. Our warp stations here and here, off-limits, heavily guarded. But they are clever. They have been seen surveying nearby asteroid belts. If they discover even one engine— Resic's eyes narrowed. We cannot let them. Hide the engines. Move them to uncharted locations. Use the asteroid fields beyond the Sirius Rift. No species should have the knowledge we guard. And so, the Zarathi moved swiftly. Warp engines the size of small cities were dismantled, their components scattered across remote asteroid belts and hidden in voids between stars. The most complex systems were stored in inaccessible caves, guarded by automated sentries and layered with encryption the Zarathi believed no one could ever crack. Meanwhile, on the outer rim of the galaxy, humans prepared for another exploratory mission. Their vessel, the USS Pioneer, was small, designed more for efficiency than grandeur. Its crew, a mix of engineers, scientists, and explorers, had no knowledge of the vast interstellar politics unfolding in the council chambers far away. Captain Elena Reyes, a woman of sharp mind and calm determination, reviewed the mission logs in the ship's command deck. Sensors are picking up unusual energy readings near the asteroid belt, she said. Her voice was steady, but excitement glimmered in her eyes. It's weak, but definitely not natural. I want a team ready to investigate. Lieutenant Mark Talbot, the ship's engineer, leaned over a console. Could be mining equipment, Captain. Or a research station. Either way, it's something someone doesn't want us to see. Elena smiled faintly. That's exactly why we're going. Curiosity is part of being human, Mark. We explore, we adapt, we learn. As the USS Pioneer approached the asteroid field, the vast expanse of floating rock stretched endlessly. Shadows from distant stars created strange, shifting patterns across the jagged surfaces. The human crew moved with precision, scanning each asteroid, sending drones to investigate hidden caverns and tunnels. On the surface of one particularly large asteroid, humans discovered fragments of machinery, unlike anything they had ever seen. Panels of unfamiliar metals, complex circuits, and glowing cores littered the ground. Lieutenant Talbot knelt, examining a small component with careful hands. It's advanced, he whispered, far beyond anything our engineers have built. But as there's a logic to it, if we study the patterns, we might understand it. Captain Reyes watched silently. She had learned long ago that humans often excelled where others relied solely on rigid training. Humans were creative, adaptable, and above all, persistent. And persistence, she knew, could overcome almost anything. Meanwhile, light years away, the Zarathi watched through long-range sensors. Counselor Vader frowned, observing human movements on a holographic display. They are touching the equipment, he said. This is impossible. They should not comprehend it. Counselor Resic's scales bristled in agitation. We've hidden it carefully. No species has ever managed to reverse engineer even one module. Yet they are persistent. Maybe they are different. They are different, Vator agreed reluctantly. But different does not mean dangerous cunning yet. For now, back on the asteroid, humans began carefully disassembling parts of the machinery. They documented each step, using both technology and intuition. Where alien logic was complex, humans approached it through simplicity, experimenting and adjusting, learning by trial and error. Talbot tapped a small panel. A faint hum resonated. It's responding, but how? It wasn't designed to activate like this. It's almost as if it's waiting to be understood. Reyes knelt beside him, eyes narrowing. Sometimes the simplest solution is the right one. Humans have a way of seeing patterns others overlook. The crew continued their work late into the asteroid night. Slowly, pieces began to fit together, small energy pulses running through the components. The humans were unaware of the monumental impact their success or failure would have on the galaxy. In the Zarathi council chambers, panic began to ripple through the ranks. Impossible, Vetor exclaimed. They should not. They cannot. They are not like other species, Resic said quietly. Their minds, their curiosity, it is something we underestimated. I warned you, Vetor. Curiosity is a dangerous weapon when combined with ingenuity. As the humans finished assembling a small warp test module, energy arcs danced across its surface, illuminating the asteroid cave in a pale blue glow. The hum grew louder, resonating with an almost musical quality. Captain Reyes stepped back, a sense of awe washing over her. Mark, we did it. It's working, Talbot grinned. We didn't just assemble it. We understand it. This changes everything. At that very moment, long-range sensors aboard a Zarathi patrol ship detected the human activity. Orders were issued and a small fleet was dispatched to stop them. But the humans had already achieved something the Zarathi had thought impossible. They had unlocked the principles of warp travel, even from a partial engine. Elena Reyes stood on the deck of the Pioneer looking at the stars. We don't yet know all the rules, she said quietly. But we will learn them, step by step as humans always do. And so in the dark expanse of the asteroid belt, hidden from the galaxy's most advanced species, humans began taking apart the Zarathi warp technology, not recklessly but methodically, patiently, and with a brilliance that defied expectation. Somewhere in the far distance, the Zarathi Council realized their greatest secret was no longer theirs alone. And for the first time they felt something unfamiliar, a flicker of fear. Humans were not just persistent. Humans were unstoppable when curiosity and determination combined. The first part of the journey was complete, but the true story, the story of how humans would take apart, understand, and eventually master an alien warp engine, was only beginning. The asteroid cave hummed with a quiet energy as the humans continued their work. Every panel they examined, every circuit they studied, revealed patterns hidden in plain sight. What seemed complex to any other species was, for humans, a puzzle to be solved piece by piece. Captain Elena Reyes paced the length of the cavern, her eyes constantly scanning the assembly. Remember, everyone, she said, we aren't just taking this apart. We need to understand it. Each component tells a story. If we miss something, the rest won't work. Lieutenant Mark Talbot, kneeling over a glowing energy conduit, nodded. I've never seen design logic like this. It's elegant, complicated but elegant. Whoever built this had a mind for efficiency, not just power. Engineer Leah Chen adjusted her scanner, focusing on a section of the engine marked with strange alien symbols. These aren't just labels, they're instructions, sort of like a code within a code. I think if we trace the connections, we can figure out how the whole system interacts. Reyes crouched beside her, studying the symbols. Humans have a way of seeing patterns where others see chaos. That's our advantage here. The Zarathi hide their secrets with precision, but they never accounted for curiosity combined with creativity. As they worked, the alien warp technology began to reveal its secrets. A small test module, partially reassembled, started to hum more steadily, responding to the humans' manipulations. Tiny arcs of light pulsed along the conduits, and a low melodic vibration filled the cavern. Talbot's eyes widened. It's listening. It's adjusting, almost like it knows we're learning, Chen smiled. That's exactly how I read it. The Zarathi design systems that are adaptive. They respond to input, not just commands. But we can work with that. We just have to think like them, and also like humans. Meanwhile, far across space, the Zarathi Council was growing increasingly uneasy. The patrol fleet sent to monitor the humans reported detailed data back to the high spire of Zarathis Prime. They are active, said Counselor Vetor, his scaled fingers tapping nervously on the control panel. They are not just touching the equipment, they are learning it. Our encryption and concealment. It is being bypassed. Resic's eyes narrowed. We underestimated them. We have never seen any species decode our designs this quickly. There is something different about humans. Their minds do not follow the predictable paths of other species. Vator leaned back in his chair, troubled.
Perhaps
We should intervene. Send more patrols. Disable the asteroid base before they achieve full functionality. No, Resic said sharply. Observe. Let them learn. If they are truly unique, we will see it. Stop underestimating them. Humans are persistent, adaptive, and dangerous in ways we cannot measure yet. Back in the asteroid cave, humans had begun connecting multiple modules together. Each assembly increased in size and complexity. The hum of the warp engine grew louder, filling the space with a resonance that made the walls vibrate slightly. Reyes examined a holographic display Talbot had generated. We're close. The energy flows are stabilizing. If we can synchronize the conduits, we might be able to generate a controlled micro-warp field. Talbot's grin was broad. A micro-warp field, you mean? We could actually make something move faster than light? Not fully yet, Reyes said. But it's the first step. Humans have always advanced by taking small steps and learning from each one. That's what makes us different from species that rely only on inherited knowledge. Chen adjusted her tools and carefully rotated a component. The Zarathi tried to hide everything in complexity. But complexity is only scary if you follow their rules. Humans, we make our own rules. We experiment. We observe. And we adapt. Hours turned into days as the human team continued their work. They slept in shifts, ate simple meals, and never lost focus. Outside, drones patrolled the asteroid belt, scanning for any potential dangers. But no one expected the Zarathi to act immediately. Then, one of the smaller test modules activated fully. A shimmering, distorted field appeared above it, bending light and casting a ripple through the cavern. Talbot jumped back, eyes wide. It's working, he exclaimed. A micro-warp field. Captain, we did it. Rhea smiled, her mind racing. Not just working, Mark, it's stable. That means we can expand this. We can understand the full engine if we continue carefully. Chen laughed softly. And I thought we'd only catalog artifacts today. Humans do things differently. We don't just observe, we create. The Zarathi patrol ships, observing the humans from a distance, reported the unexpected progress. Vador's jaw tightened. Impossible. How can they understand a module this complex? No species has ever done this. Our concealment, our encryption, it should be impossible to reverse engineer. Resic leaned forward, voice calm but firm. This is what I have warned. Humans think differently. They question. They explore. They take apart what others hide. They adapt in ways we cannot predict. It is not just curiosity, it is ingenuity. And we must respect it. Or fear it. Inside the asteroid, the humans celebrated quietly, knowing the Zarathi could be watching but trusting in their careful planning. Each discovery they made, each principle they understood, brought them closer to fully comprehending warp technology. Reyes gathered her team. Remember, every step we take now is a lesson. The Zarathi tried to hide this knowledge because it was powerful. But power without understanding is nothing. Humans don't just learn, we apply. We improve. Talbot pointed to the partially reassembled engine. The adaptive systems are fascinating. They adjust based on our manipulations. If we can predict the responses, we can control the warp output, Chen added. And we can simplify it, make it more efficient without losing the core function. Humans are good at seeing ways to improve, even when the original design is alien. As night fell over the asteroid belt, the humans continued their work. Light from their equipment illuminated the cavern, reflecting off the metallic surfaces of the alien modules. Outside, the stars shone cold and distant, indifferent to the small human team reshaping the future of interstellar travel. Suddenly, a small warning light blinked on the Pioneer's control console. Sensors detected a Zarathi patrol ship approaching rapidly. Captain, Talbot said, they're coming closer. We need to secure the modules or they'll see what we've done. Reyes nodded. Not yet. Let them see. Humans are not afraid to be observed. Sometimes showing what you've achieved sends a stronger message than hiding it. Chen raised an eyebrow. Are you sure? They could attack. We will defend ourselves if needed, Reyes said calmly. But right now, observation is part of the lesson. We work best under challenge. Humans excel when faced with difficulty. The Zarathi will see that soon enough. The patrol ship hovered above the asteroid, scanning, sending signals, and recording data. But the humans continued their work. calm and focused even as the alien sensors swept over the modules. Resic, observing the patrol reports back on SciFiSaga, shook her head in quiet admiration. "They are different," she said softly. "They are patient, persistent, and creative. If they continue like this, they will not just understand our technology, they will surpass it." Vator growled in frustration. "We must stop them. They cannot be allowed to gain such power." Resic's gaze was firm. "Not yet. Watch, learn. And remember, humans do not follow the rules we expect. Underestimating them is our greatest mistake." Back in the cavern, a breakthrough occurred. The energy flows in the test module synchronized perfectly. The hum grew steady, and the light ripples formed a small, stable warp field. The humans had not only deciphered part of the alien technology, they had stabilized it. Talbot laughed in disbelief. "We've actually done it. A working field. Humans really do figure things out faster than anyone expects." Reyes looked at her team with pride. "Remember this moment. It's proof that curiosity, persistence, and teamwork can overcome even the most advanced challenges. We are humans. That is what we do." Outside, the stars of the galaxy seemed to shine a little brighter, unaware that a new force, curious, clever, and unstoppable, was rising quietly in the asteroid belt. The humans had taken the first step toward fully mastering warp technology. The Zarathi, despite all their power, could only watch and realize a truth they had never accepted before. Humans were not just another species in the galaxy. Humans were different, and different meant unstoppable. The asteroid cave had become a hub of quiet excitement. The humans' progress with the small warp module was astounding even to themselves, but Captain Elena Reyes knew they had only scratched the surface. The full warp engine, the size of a small city, was still scattered across the asteroid belts in pieces, guarded by the careful concealment of the Zarathi. "Team," Reyes said, her voice steady. "We've proven that we can understand a module. Now it's time to tackle the full engine. Each component we assemble is a step closer to unlocking something extraordinary." Lieutenant Mark Talbot rubbed his hands together, eyes gleaming. "Extraordinary is one word for it. I've never seen anything like this in our history books, or in any records from other species." Engineer Leah Chen smiled softly, scanning the blueprints they had painstakingly pieced together from the module. "We're not just copying it, we're learning it, understanding it, and if we approach it carefully, we can even improve it." Reyes nodded. "Exactly. Humans don't just follow instructions. We experiment, we adapt. We find patterns where others see chaos. That is our advantage." The team began gathering components from nearby asteroids. Each piece was carefully cataloged, examined, and studied. Small assemblies were tested repeatedly, and their results were noted in meticulous logs. Every night the cavern glowed with the soft blue light of energy conduits and micro-warp fields, illuminating the faces of the humans who refused to rest until every discovery was documented. Meanwhile, across light years, the Zarathi Council was growing increasingly tense. Counselor Vator paced the high spire of SciFiSaga, observing reports from the patrol fleet. "They are moving faster than anticipated. Their efficiency is uncanny. I have never seen such rapid progress in any species." Resic's eyes glimmered with a mixture of fascination and concern. "Humans are different. They do not fear failure. They learn from mistakes. They collaborate. Every species follows rules. Humans rewrite them as they go. We cannot predict them with conventional logic," Vader growled. "We have to act. If they understand the full engine." He hesitated, unwilling to finish the thought. The implications were terrifying, but Resic shook her head. "Observe. Let them learn. Humans are remarkable when tested. If we attempt to stop them now, we risk underestimating what they are capable of. Watch carefully, Counselor. The galaxy is about to see something unprecedented." Inside the asteroid cavern, the humans reached the first major breakthrough. By carefully connecting multiple modules, they generated a stable warp field capable of small-scale displacement. Energy arcs danced across the conduits and a soft hum resonated through the asteroid, filling the air with a sense of power and potential. Talbot stepped back in awe. "We've done it! A stable warp field on a larger scale. Captain, if we can expand this..." Reyes smiled. "We will, but one step at a time. Precision is key. Humans excel at learning gradually and applying knowledge intelligently. That's why we succeed where others fail." Chen studied the adaptive systems integrated into the modules. These components adjust themselves in response to input. The Zerathi designed it to prevent reverse engineering. But humans, we adapt our approach. We predict responses through observation and intuition. That's why we're progressing so fast, Reyes nodded. And intuition is just another form of problem solving. Humans trust both logic and experience. That combination is powerful. That's why we're different. Over the next several days, the team meticulously assembled larger portions of the warp engine. They refined their methods, learning to anticipate the engine's adaptive responses and stabilize its systems. Small failures were treated as lessons, not setbacks. Every error led to deeper understanding. One evening, Talbot observed a pattern in the energy flow. Look at this. Every time we adjust this panel, the energy arcs shift slightly. If we connect it here instead of there, the system stabilizes faster. It's like the engine is teaching us how it wants to be used. Chen laughed softly. Or maybe humans just think differently. Either way, it works. Reyes placed a hand on the console, watching the glow of the assembled modules. That's exactly it. Humans see solutions where others see problems. We create when faced with complexity. That's what makes us unstoppable. Meanwhile, the Zerathi patrols reported the humans' success. Vader slammed his clawed hand on the console. This is impossible. We hit everything perfectly. No species has ever accomplished what they are doing. We must intervene before it's too late. Resic remained calm. And if we do intervene, we risk proving their ingenuity further. Let them continue. Observe. Learn. Humans are remarkable in ways we cannot control or predict. That is a reality we must accept. Back in the asteroid cave, the humans faced a critical challenge: integrating the central power core. This component was the heart of the warp engine, designed to manage energy flow and sustain a stable warp field across interstellar distances. Its complexity was immense. Talbot frowned, running his hands over the core's surface. The energy feedback is unpredictable. Even small misalignments create unstable pulses. We have to understand every connection perfectly. Reyes nodded. And we will. Humans don't give up. We analyze, we test, we adapt. Step by step, we will succeed. Chen adjusted the conduits carefully. If we reroute the auxiliary channels and synchronize them with the feedback loops, we can stabilize the core. It's risky, but it could work. The team worked through the night. Slowly, deliberately, they connected the central core to the partially assembled warp engine. Energy arcs danced across the conduits, and the hum of the engine grew into a steady resonance that filled the cavern. Talbot's eyes widened. It's stable. The core is working perfectly. Captain, this is incredible. Reyes smiled, her heart swelling with pride. We did it together. Humans are not just learners, we are problem solvers. We adapt, we improve, and we create solutions even in impossible circumstances. Outside, the Zerathi patrols watched with mounting alarm. Vader's jaw tightened. They have activated the core. This should be impossible. Our concealment. Our precautions. All for nothing. Resic's voice was calm, almost reverent. Humans are unique. Observe, Counselor. This is not failure on our part. This is evolution in motion. We may not understand them, but the galaxy will, and soon we must as well. In the asteroid cavern, the humans continued refining the warp engine. They tested energy flows, adjusted conduits, and synchronized feedback loops. Each small improvement brought them closer to the ultimate goal: a fully functional warp engine. Talbot grinned. Captain, if we keep this up, we could have a ship capable of interstellar travel. Full warp capabilities built from scratch by humans using alien technology. Reyes nodded. And that is exactly what we are going to do. We are humans. We don't just follow instructions. We learn, we adapt, and we create. That is why we succeed where others fail. Chen looked at the glowing engine. And we'll make it better. Humans always find ways to improve, even on technology that seems perfect. That's the difference between us and every other species. As the night stretched on, the humans worked tirelessly, driven by curiosity, determination, and the unshakable belief that they could overcome any challenge. They were not just taking apart alien technology. They were learning, understanding, and transforming it into something new. In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Zerathi Council watched helplessly. Vader's claws dug into the console. We must stop them. We cannot allow this. They will surpass us. Resik's gaze was steady, her expression unreadable. Perhaps. But for now, watch and learn. Humans are not like any species we have ever encountered. They are curious, creative, and persistent. That is a force we cannot measure or contain. Inside the asteroid cave, Captain Reyes looked at her team with pride. Remember this moment. We are humans. We are explorers, problem solvers, and creators. We take challenges and turn them into opportunities. And no matter what the Zarathi think, we will continue to succeed. The hum of the warp engine filled the cavern, a testament to human ingenuity. The stars outside glimmered, unaware that a small team of humans was quietly reshaping the future of interstellar travel. Step by step, module by module, the humans were achieving the impossible. The warp engine, once the closely guarded secret of the galaxy's most advanced species, was slowly becoming something humans understood, something humans could control, and something humans could improve. And far across space, the Zarathi finally realized the truth. Humans were not just another species. Humans were different and unstoppable. The asteroid cave vibrated with energy. The humans had done the unthinkable. The partial warp engine was now fully operational. The hum of the system resonated through the cavern walls, creating a sense of power and anticipation. Captain Elena Reyes stood before the assembled components, her eyes reflecting the pale blue glow of the energy conduits. "We've reached the final stage," she said quietly. "This is it. The first complete warp engine assembled by humans from alien technology. Every module is synchronized. Every system stabilized. The only thing left is to test it." Lieutenant Mark Talbot could hardly contain his excitement. "Captain, this is history. We're about to take the first human-made warp jump, from a Zarathi engine no less." Engineer Leah Chen adjusted the final conduits, her hands moving with precision born of hours of careful study. "It's not just about understanding the technology. It's about control. The engine responds to our commands now." "We are ready," Reyes nodded. "Prepare for micro-warp testing. Small controlled displacement. We'll start slow. Safety first, always. Humans may be brilliant, but we are not reckless." The crew checked the systems one final time. Energy readings were perfect, and the hum of the warp engine was steady, almost musical. The test module, now a functional warp engine, glowed with a serene blue light. Talbot initiated the startup sequence. "Power levels steady. Field generation in progress. And activating!" A ripple of energy flowed through the engine, and a small section of the asteroid floor shimmered. Objects within the ripple began to shift slightly, light bending around the field as if reality itself had grown thinner. The micro-warp field was stable. Chen stepped back, eyes wide. "It's working." "Completely stable." "Captain, this is incredible," Reyes smiled. "Humans take one step at a time. Each success builds on the last. We learn, we adapt, and we overcome. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us unstoppable." Outside, the Zarathi patrol fleet watched from a distance. Counselor Vator's eyes were wide with disbelief. "They've activated the warp engine. How is this possible?" "This was impossible to achieve." Resik, calm as ever, leaned back in her chair. "Humans do not follow the predictable paths of other species. They experiment, adapt, and persist. That is their strength. Watch closely, Counselor. You will learn something today." Back in the asteroid cave, the humans prepared for the next phase, a small-scale warp jump. They designed a test path within the asteroid belt, ensuring they could observe all outcomes and return safely. Reyes addressed the team. "Micro-warp testing is complete. Now we extend it. Small jumps between controlled points in the asteroid field. We monitor, learn, and adjust. Humans are explorers. Curiosity drives us, and we are careful always." Talbot initiated the jump. The field expanded, surrounding the USS Pioneer's small test module. For a moment the ship shimmered, then vanished from the asteroid's surface. Sensors recorded every movement, every energy fluctuation. A few seconds later, the module reappeared at its destination, perfectly stable and intact. Chen clapped her hands softly. "It worked. We just completed the first human-engineered warp jump." "This is incredible," Reyes nodded. "And we understand it. That's the key. Understanding is what sets humans apart. We don't just copy or follow. We learn, we improve, and we create solutions no one else anticipates." In the Zarathi Council chambers, Vator slammed his clawed hand on the console. "They are moving. They've jumped across space. This is impossible. No species has ever achieved this with partial knowledge of our technology. Resik's calm voice cut through the tension. Impossible is only a word for those who do not understand humans. They are persistent, creative, and adaptive. They do not fear failure. Every jump they make teaches them more. Observe and learn. Back on the asteroid, the humans conducted multiple small jumps. Each attempt was more precise than the last, as they adapted to the engine's responses and refined the field stability. Patterns emerged, energy flows stabilized, and the warp technology that once seemed impenetrable now felt almost familiar. Talbot laughed with joy. "Captain, we're not just operating the engine. We're improving it." The energy flow is smoother, more efficient than it was originally designed. Reyes smiled. "Humans have always done this. We take what exists and make it better. That is our nature. That is what the Zerathi never expected." Chen added, "They hid the engine because they believed it was impossible to master. But humans, we don't accept limits. We adapt, we experiment, and we succeed. That's why we're different." Outside, the Zerathi patrols reported the humans' progress. Vader growled in frustration. "We cannot let them continue. If they master this technology, our control over warp travel and perhaps the galaxy itself will be challenged." Resik remained calm. "Let them continue. By observing them, we learn something far more valuable. Humans are unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. They may surpass us. That is a fact we must accept." Inside the asteroid, the humans prepared for the ultimate test, a full-scale jump between two distant points in the asteroid belt. This jump required perfect synchronization and complete control over the warp field. One small error could destabilize the system. Reyes addressed her team with quiet determination. "This is the moment we've been working toward. We've learned, adapted, and improved. Now we put it all together. Humans succeed because we persevere, because we think differently, and because we never give up." Talbot initiated the sequence. The warp field expanded, surrounding the USS Pioneer. Energy arcs danced along the conduits, pulsing with increasing intensity. The ship shimmered, then vanished. Sensors tracked its movement across space, recording every fluctuation, every ripple in the field. Seconds passed. The ship reappeared at its destination flawlessly. The hum of the warp engine filled the cavern with a soft, triumphant resonance. Chen clapped her hands softly. "We did it. Full warp jump. Humans just made history." Reyes placed a hand on the console, her eyes reflecting the glowing field. "And we understand it. That is the difference. Humans do not just succeed, they understand, improve, and create. That is what makes us unstoppable." The Zerathi fleet, observing from afar, reported the jump back to Zerathi's prime. Vator's eyes widened in disbelief. "They have done it. They have mastered the engine. How is this possible?" Resik's calm voice answered almost as a whisper. "Because humans are not like other species. They learn, they adapt, they persevere. They take the impossible and make it reality. Observe, counselor. Learn. And remember this moment." The humans continued to test the warp engine, conducting longer and more complex jumps. Each success reinforced their understanding, and each failure, rare as it was, became a lesson for improvement. The USS Pioneer moved through space with precision, efficiency, and stability, demonstrating that humans had not only mastered alien technology, but improved upon it. Talbot grinned. "We're not just using the engine, we're making it better. The energy flows are smoother, power output more efficient. This is beyond what the Zerathi designed." Reyes smiled. "Humans have always done this. We take challenges, learn from them, and improve the world around us. That is our greatest strength. That is why we are unstoppable." And far across space, the Zerathi Council realized the truth. Humans were not just another species to be monitored. Humans were pioneers, innovators, and creators. They were persistent, adaptable, and capable of achieving what no other species could. The galaxy had never seen anything like it, and the Zerathi would never underestimate humans again. For the humans, this was only the beginning. They had unlocked warp travel, mastered the technology of a far more advanced species, and proven that curiosity, determination, and ingenuity could overcome even the most formidable challenges. The stars outside the asteroid belt seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if the universe itself recognized the rise of a species unlike any other. Humans had crossed the first threshold of warp travel. The galaxy would never be the same. The asteroid cavern hummed with the soft glow of the fully operational warp engine. The USS Pioneer, now capable of long-range warp travel, rested quietly, its systems perfectly synchronized. Captain Elena Reyes stood before her crew, pride and determination shining in her eyes. "We've done more than assemble a machine," she said. "We've learned. We've adapted. We've improved. Humans succeed because we think differently. We persist and we never give up. This is just the beginning." Lieutenant Mark Talbot ran diagnostics on the warp engine. "Every system is stable, Captain. Every energy flow is optimized. I never imagined we could make it work this well. Better than the original design in some ways." Engineer Leah Chen nodded. "Humans don't just copy. We understand. We improve. That's why the Zarathi never expected this. They thought hiding their technology would keep it safe, but humans are different." Outside, the Zarathi patrol fleet remained on high alert, monitoring the humans' activities. Counselor Vator paced the high spire of Zarathus Prime, frustration evident in every movement. "Impossible. We hid the technology perfectly. No species should have been able to do this, and yet they have not only figured it out, they've improved it." Resic's voice was calm, even reverent. "Humans are not like other species. They learn, adapt, and innovate. They are persistent in ways we cannot predict. That is why they succeed where others fail. We must accept it, or the consequences will be greater than we imagine." Back in the asteroid cavern, the humans began preparing for their first true interstellar mission. Their goal was not conquest or power. It was exploration, discovery, and proving the capabilities of human ingenuity. Reyes addressed her team. "We are about to make history, not just for humans but for every species in the galaxy. Our warp engine allows us to reach the stars faster than ever before. But more importantly, it shows what humans are capable of. Remember, we do not just adapt, we improve, we create, and we persist." Talbot initiated the sequence for the first interstellar warp jump. The USS Pioneer shimmered, surrounded by the hum and glow of the warp field. Energy arcs pulsed rhythmically along the conduits as the ship vanished from the asteroid's surface. Seconds later, sensors confirmed the Pioneer had arrived at a distant star system, stable and intact. The crew cheered quietly, aware that their success was more than technical, it was symbolic. Humans had mastered alien technology through curiosity, persistence, and intelligence. Chen smiled. "We didn't just learn their technology. We understood it. We improved it. That is what humans do. That is why we are different." Reyes nodded. "Exactly. The Zarathi tried to hide their secrets because they believed no one could understand them. But humans are not deterred by secrets. We explore, we experiment, and we create solutions no one else can imagine." Across the galaxy, the Zarathi Council received reports of the humans' warp jump. Vader's face was pale with disbelief. "They have jumped across space."
"How can this be?"
"No species has ever done this. We underestimated them." Gravely, Resic's gaze was steady. "Humans are persistent, creative, and adaptable. They do not fear failure. Every obstacle is a lesson, every challenge an opportunity. They are not just another species. They are a force unlike any we have encountered." Back on the USS Pioneer, the humans conducted multiple jumps, exploring nearby star systems, cataloging planets, and observing phenomena previously inaccessible to them. Each jump refined their understanding, improving both speed and efficiency. Talbot laughed softly as he examined the energy flows. "We're not just using the engine, we're enhancing it. Energy distribution is smoother, and warp efficiency is better than the original design." Reyes smiled. "That's human ingenuity. We do not simply replicate. We adapt and improve. That is why we succeed. That is why humans are unstoppable." Meanwhile, the Zarathi, despite their advanced technology and intelligence, could do nothing but observe. They realized their concealment strategies, their encryption, and their centuries of careful planning had been overcome by curiosity, persistence, and intelligence combined. Counselor Vator finally spoke, his voice tinged with awe and respect. "Perhaps we judged them too soon. Humans are remarkable," Resic nodded. "Indeed, and the galaxy will soon recognize it as well. Humans are different. That difference is a power all their own." As the humans explored further, they began to aid less advanced species. sharing knowledge selectively, helping develop safer technology, and building diplomatic bridges across star systems. They demonstrated that human ingenuity was not only technical, but also moral and cooperative. Reyes addressed her crew one evening aboard the USS Pioneer. Our journey is not just about speed or technology. It's about showing that humans approach problems differently. We explore, we innovate, we solve challenges creatively, and we persist. That is the essence of what makes us human, Chen added, and that is why the galaxy will never be the same. We are proving that intelligence, creativity, and persistence matter more than brute power alone. Talbot leaned back, smiling at the glowing warp engine. Who would have thought that a small, isolated human crew could do what entire fleets of the most advanced species in the galaxy could not? We've proven it. Reyes looked at the stars stretching infinitely beyond the ship's hull. This is only the beginning. The Zarathi thought they could hide their technology. We showed them they were wrong, and we'll continue to show every species we encounter what humans are capable of. In the Zarathi council chambers, silence fell. The counselors knew that the humans' achievements were not mere luck. They were the result of determination, intelligence, curiosity, and the willingness to face the unknown with persistence. Vetor finally admitted, "They are more than we anticipated. Humans are extraordinary." Resick smiled faintly. "Extraordinary indeed, and the galaxy will soon understand why humans cannot be underestimated." Back aboard the Pioneer, the humans prepared for yet another jump, this time to a star system no one had visited before. Their warp engine pulsed with energy, ready to carry them across light years in moments. The crew worked in unison, their minds and hearts aligned with the mission: exploration, understanding, and proving the capabilities of humanity. As the ship shimmered and disappeared into the fabric of space, Captain Reyes reflected on their journey. They had taken apart an advanced alien technology, understood it, improved it, and applied it. They had proven that humans are not limited by fear, secrecy, or convention. The stars ahead stretched infinitely, waiting to be explored. And humans, with their unique combination of curiosity, intelligence, and persistence, were ready to meet that challenge. For the Zarathi and for the rest of the galaxy, one truth became undeniable: humans were different, unstoppable, and capable of achieving what no other species had managed. The universe had never faced anything quite like it, and it would never forget the rise of humanity, a species defined by its ingenuity, creativity, and courage. Humans had crossed the threshold of warp travel, mastered alien technology, and shown that intelligence combined with persistence could achieve the impossible. And as the USS Pioneer sailed into the unknown, the galaxy watched, forever changed by what a determined, curious, and ingenious species could accomplish. The story of humans, hidden among the stars yet unstoppable, had only begun.